Ayo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy X coming at y'all with a brand new video. And as you guys can see, we are here with the the Spotlight Sim tier list here. Got a bunch of them. You guys have been asking for a bunch of tier lists. You guys have really been enjoying it, so we're back with it. Make sure you guys drop a like on the video and drop a comment any of the tier lists that you guys want to see on the channel. Gonna keep cranking them out and have fun. And make sure you guys watch it all the way through so you can see my reasoning for a lot of these cards. A lot of people are jumping to the end and talking with a lot of things, and I think it's important that you stay through and just see why I rank certain things where, and you can see what I have as reasonings for it, But we're gonna get this started, and I've already kind of gone through this one to try to see if I can get this one a little bit accurate and have some fun with it. But first off, we have the Diamond Matisse Thybulle, who was the first card that I got because he's an amazing 76er right now. A lot of potential, could be great. But the thing about this Diamond Matisse Thybulle is he is an amazing defender and an amazing shooter. Actually, he's amazing overall. But the one thing that hurts him is he does not have range, and as a 2-guard, I feel like that's very vital. His defense is absolutely amazing, and he brings that on the court. And I think if people need a nice, defensive 2-guard, kind of just throw in there and really not do too much for you on offense, I think he's a great option. But because of the no range, I'm going to throw him in A tier. I think he's a great card and somebody that really can produce a lot for you if you need. But again, he's that niche type of card where you got to get used to that no range. Like, you really got to get used to that no range. Next up, we have the Diamond Eric Bledsoe, who's a 6'1" PG that's kind of defensive minded, can kind of shoot an okay release, but again, 6'1", not really a fan of his animations really that much, and the defensive ability that he brings at his size isn't as much as you would want it to be. So I'm gonna have to throw him C tier. Still a good card, and for people that are Bucks fans, yeah, he could be a nice, fun card to use. Personally, I just don't think he's that great. Next, we have Diamond Lauri Markkanen, who is a guard I was super excited about, but when he came out, he kind of just flopped. He didn't really bring too much to the table for me. His release is it's really not good. It's kind of, it's flops, if we're being honest. It's just really slow. Doesn't really help him out too much. His defense just ain't there. He's a shooter with a bad jump shot. I'm going to have to throw him at D tier. Really let me down, and it's sad because I was super excited for him. Next, we have the Diamond Kevin Porter Jr., who basically is J.R. Smith. He was the best version of J.R. Smith that we had until we got the Galaxy Opal. Great card overall. Probably one of the better dunkers that I've seen. The best dunker that I've ever used in this game is the Diamond Miles Bridges, but Kevin Porter Jr. is definitely up there on that list. And honestly, I feel like I'd get shot if I didn't put him up into S+ tier, so we're going to throw him S+ tier and have a great time with him. I feel like, obviously, a lot of people are big fans of this Kevin Porter Jr. card, so we're going to throw him up there and have a great time with him. Next, we have the Diamond Daniel Tice, who is actually a pretty nice card. Slightly undersized, though, at 6'9" for the center position, but the power forward position, I actually think he's pretty nice, like low-key. But again, he doesn't really surprise me too much. As a slightly undersized guy, I'm going to have to throw him at B tier. I just feel like he's leaving a little bit to be desired. Oof, I don't like that. We're gonna go back to this. Next, we have the Diamond Lou Williams. Again, 6'1", is like Eric Bledsoe, but brings a little bit more on the offensive end. But he's 6'1", he can get his shot blocked very easily, and overall, what he brings is a little bit negligible. Can still play some good defense and make pretty well, but again, he's 6'1", so it's really not going to be too crazy. I'm going to throw him in C tier. Again, great card, but he's really lacking in the height category, which kind of kills it for him. Next, we have Diamond Brandon Clark. Great card overall. Like, seriously, a great card. Has a great size at both the 3 and the 4. Has a good jump shot, good defense. I think he may be lacking range, but I'm not 100% sure on it. I probably should have checked that out a little bit before, but I did at first watch a gameplay when he first came out of YBC using him just to kind of see what he was looking like, because I knew he had a card that was filled with a lot of potential, because he's one of the only cards I feel like that has really great all-around stats and everything but post scoring, and has some good speed boosting ability, and he actually does have range setter, so I wasn't capping. So we're all good. So definitely a good card, and one that I feel like for a lot of people, if you need kind of a small forward that can do it all, play good defense, shoot the ball pretty well, finish, do everything nice, I think is a great option. I'm going to throw him S tier. He's going to be lower end S tier. He's not going to be top S tier, but I think he is pretty far up on this list. Now, since I forgot to say it earlier, how I'm ranking this list is I'm purely taking into account these spotlight cards and these spotlight cards only. So S plus tier isn't the same as the S plus tier for our Galaxy Opals per se, where we're not, any game starter for S plus tier. We're taking it as this is the top tier of the spotlight sim cards that we got put out. Just to clarify that, just in case anybody gets a little bit confused towards the end of the list. Next, we have the Diamond Cameron Reddish, who probably is my favorite card out of everybody that dropped here. Actually, no, he's my second favorite. My favorite is Rui Hachimura. But what is great about this Cameron Reddish card is he is 6'8" and can play the 2 guard. He has amazing defense, but he is lacking a little bit of interior defense. So at the 3, it does hurt him a little bit, but you can get away with it. And he's one of the best shooters in the game. He's a reskin to Paul George, and in my opinion, is right up there with Kevin Porter Jr. as one of the best cards to come out of this historic Spotlight Sim set. Absolutely insane. Next, we have Diamond Duncan Robinson, who is supposed to be a brilliant 3-and-D shooter, but he is a shooter with an awful release, and y'all know what happened with Lauri Markkanen. Yeah, he's going D tier. I think he's better than Lauri Markkanen because he's 6'8" at the 2. So if you wanted to throw him in there to play defense and hit the occasional catch and shoot shot, he can still do that. Lauri, yeah, it's disappointing if we're being honest. Next, we have a Diamond PJ Washington, who is going to be undersized if you do run him at the center, but at his primary position, power forward, 6'9" isn't too bad. And I think what PJ Washington can bring on the offensive end picks up for some of the lack of defense that he does have on the court. So I'm throwing him up into A tier. I think he's a really solid card. And again, if you know what you're doing with him on offense, he can really be a killer. Great shooter, great release. Absolutely love him. But he could be a niche player, which is why we're not throwing him up too much higher on the list. Next, we have the Diamond Joe Ingles, who is an amazing 3-and-D card, can also play make speed boost really well, and actually finished not too bad either, but has a little bit of a slow and kind of weird looking release, which can make it kind of difficult to find a Q on it and actually release it very well. So I'm going to throw him in A tier. I feel like he's really equal with Matisse Thybulle because they kind of both have some big negatives to them that can make it a little bit weird. With Joe Ingles, it's his release. With Matisse Thybulle, it's no range. So, tit for tat. Next, we have Diamond Bojan Bogdanovic, who has Manu Ginobili base. I went up and looked at what the base actually was so I could see what it was. Nice, low to the ground, near like base 38, just a little bit slower, and it is absolutely money. I love him. He's one of the best shooters I've used. Offensively, he's great, and has at 6'6" at the 2. I think he has like a 7-foot wingspan, which helps play defense amazingly, helps you get some steals, rebounds, everything like that. Having a longer wingspan as a guard really can help. I'm going to throw him A+ tier. He's kind of a sleeper pick. A lot of people might be disagreeing with this Bojan Bogdanovic card, but I do think he's an amazing one, and one that I think a lot of people haven't given a true chance to because he's kind of a smaller name, but he is an offensive beast. Definitely one that I think people should at least try out. Next, we have Diamond Mitchell Robinson. I think he goes B tier right with Daniel Tice. When it comes to non-shooting centers, we actually have a lot of them in this list, and I think Mitchell Robinson is almost our best one. I feel like he's very close to him. He's tied, I think, with Steven Adams. Both of them, and since I'm talking about Steven Adams, we'll throw him here in B tier as well. I think him and Steven Adams both are pretty equal. I mean, they're both, I think, 7 foot, maybe 7'1". They can play great defense in the post. They can do some nice post moves. They can finish inside well, and even can stretch the floor a little bit with a nice 70-shot 3. But their animations, to me personally, aren't ones that I really like. So I think they're going to be a B tier. I also am not a fan of non-shooting centers that much. I don't mind, like, I don't need them to have range, but I still want them to have a good release and the ability to shoot, and these guys really don't do it for me personally, so I'm going to have to throw them down there on the B tier. But speaking of the non-shooting center that I think is actually the one that is worth it, because I actually like his release, it's JaVale McGee, and we are going to throw him up into the A tier. I think JaVale McGee is actually a really nice card. Again, I just like JaVale McGee's animations, and there's just something about him every single year where rebounding and finishing, JaVale McGee is always top tier whenever you got him in there. I don't understand why, but he's a god. Like, come on. Woo, we're yawning again. Next, we have Diamond Terrence Ross. And I'm throwing him immediately into D tier. And people that know me know that in the beginning of the year, there was a Diamond Terrence Ross who was probably my favorite card in the entire game. I got his Evo done and was talking big ups about him because he's 6'8" at the 2-guard position. And he has a player build that makes it look like he's like 6'11". He's super wide. It's absolutely crazy. But the thing that kills this Terrence Ross card is no clamps. And you guys know I'm really big on clamps this year. I love players that can play defense, and Terrence Ross just does not do it. His jump shot is amazing. His animations in general are just butter. He obviously has that big player build. He can finish inside, great. Could have played a good defense if they just gave him one badge, being clamps. So that one negative to Terrence Ross is a huge one for me, and I can't even put him above T tier. In my opinion, he's the only card that I would not pick up out of this. I'd even pick up that bum-ass Lowry Markkanen over this Terrence Ross just because of how hurt I am about that one decision. Next, we have Diamond Delon Wright, who actually is a really solid card. 6'5", can do everything really good, but is missing a range extender as a PG and has a slightly slow release. And in my opinion, having a slow release at the PG is really bad. I'm gonna have to throw him B tier. I think he's a top B tier card. I feel like he still has a lot of great qualities to him, being 6'5", playing some good defense, playmaking well, finishing inside well, and he still has great shooting. He just can't shoot from deep, but at the PG, it really hurts, and I think it's a huge negative. Woo, we're yawning again. So I'm going to have to knock him down to B tier. I feel like probably could throw him into A or A+ if he had range extender, but because he doesn't, we're going to have to throw him just a little bit lower. Next, we have Diamond Joe Harris, who kind of has a similar situation to Duncan Robinson, but I feel like I like Joe Harris's release just a little bit better enough to throw him in B tier, but not better enough to where I am very ecstatic about throwing him up high on the list. You know what I mean? Like, still can he's basically Duncan Robinson with a slightly better release. That's really all he is. Next, we have the Diamond Will Barton, who is a wonderful card. Would have been probably S tier if they kept him how he originally was. When he first came out, he was actually a small forward PG, but they did change it to small forward shooting guard, really tanking it. But 6'6" at the 2-guard is nice. He can shoot the ball really well. He can finish inside, amazing, good defense, and all that sort of stuff, and some nice animations as well. I'm gonna throw him A tier, really solid card. Don't think he's, you know, next level, anything crazy, but he is definitely a card that I think a lot of people should take a look at and try out if they got some time. Next, we have Diamond Malcolm Brogdon. This one is easy for me. He is S tier. Malcolm Brogdon is 6'5", have S+ tier, sorry. Is 6'5", has some of the best animations, beautiful range extended jumper, has amazing defense and amazing dribbling animations. I mean, I was playing triple threat a few days ago, and this Malcolm Brogdon was straight cooking me, and this guy knew exactly how to use the Malcolm Brogdon card. When utilized correctly, this Malcolm Brogdon card can feel like one of the better PGs in the game. Not saying he's one of the best PGs in the game, but he can definitely feel like one of the better PGs, and you can really make him hold his own against a lot of these cards. I think he's super solid, and honestly, one of the cards that I recommend picking up first, especially if you need a PG, especially if you need a PG. He's actually, I think, the only PG on here that's actually worth, really, honestly. Next, we have a Diamond Jackson Hayes, who I absolutely love. S tier, easily, in my opinion. The great thing about Jackson Hayes is, unlike he's just like these guys, amazing rebounding. He can finish inside well. He has a good post game, and honestly, can still shoot a bit. But the thing that's great about Jackson Hayes is I think he has the highest three-point shot out of all of these guys, and has the best release and just best animations in general. And that just skyrockets him above, you know, the rest of these guys. These guys have good animations, but not great animations. Jackson Hayes has a jumper that I actually really like and is super easy to green. And I think he has like a 79-3. And if you boost, you know, with a shoe, with floor general, with all that sort of stuff, he can actually get a pretty decent shot 3 and really help your squad out. I love this Jackson Hayes card as a center or a forward. He's absolutely insane. And definitely, probably, if you need a center, the one that I would go for. And at least be in search of, if I'm being honest. He is a beast, and I seriously mean a beast. Next is Diamond Christian Wood, who at his position of power forward, not center, is amazing. 6'10", great size. He has a wonderful jump shot. Absolutely love it. He can play some pretty good defense. He can play make really well. Was actually a really solid rebounder when I used him. And overall, I was just a really big fan of this card. He does not have very great speed, which is why I'm only going to throw him in A+ tier. I feel like if he had faster speed, because I think he has half range, he could actually be up in this S tier because of how great he is at power forward. But with his lack of speed, I feel like it's not too bad because it's a 4, but if he had it, it would be such a nice boost and easy could be S tier. But still, I actually think I have him ranked, yeah, best power forward. It is what it is. Next, we have Diamond Freddie Van Vliet, a guy that I actually really like in real life. He's a hooper, but in 2K he's 6'1", really is Eric Bledsoe with some better animation, so we're going to put him above Eric Bledsoe for that reason. Yeah, that's really all the explanation I got for him. I wish Freddie was a little bit taller because it'd be great, but yeah, it is what it is. Kind of sucks. Next, we have Diamond Robert Covington. I'm going to throw him in S tier. I'm going to throw him up here at the top of S tier. Now, the thing with Robert Covington is he's just a great 3-and-D shooter with some decent animations. His dribbling animations aren't great, which is why I'm not throwing him up top tier, because I feel like I would want to run him at the 3, and I still kind of like the cheese, a little bit with my 3. The hezzy quick shot is something that I always do, and that's really kind of a niche for me. And Covington really just, he doesn't give me the right vibe with dribbling. And I know a lot of people can be like, oh, well, Robert Covington isn't supposed to be a great dribbler. And yeah, that's fine. But for me personally, I still want him to be able to dribble a little bit, and it just kind of feels like there's something missing from him. But for what you want him to do, he does it insanely good. So we're still going to have to throw him up in S tier, without a doubt. Next we have Diamond Dejounte Murray, who is a beast on the defensive end. On the offensive end, he leaves a lot to be desired. Definitely something that I wish was a little bit up on him. And that's true to real life. He's a defensive god. If you need a clamp god, he is right there for you at the 1. Matisse Thybulle's your 2, and Dejounte Murray at the 1. Clamp City can play great, but because he doesn't provide you with much else, I'm going to have to throw him in B tier. He also, I think, 6'5", maybe 6'6", so he has a great size too, which is why he can play good defense. But again, leaving a lot to be desired. Next, we have Diamond Ty Jerome, who I have, again, also in A tier. Another one of those cards that is just really good at, like, pretty good at everything. Not really good, pretty good at everything. Can just kind of do it all. But again, animations and just in general really didn't wow me, but could be great in the right hands if you do use him. And if you're a big, Ty Jerome fan from Virginia, he could be a great card for you. Really could liven up the team. Next, we have, well, actually, I realized I was tripping when I was talking about, I feel like these guys all have negatives, and Ty Jerome really doesn't have a negative. He just didn't wow me. I feel like that's easy A tier. My bad. I threw him in the wrong one. Easy A tier because he's pretty good at everything. Just didn't wow me. If he wowed me, then we'd have A+ tier. I was talking on my ass for a second, or at least just not realizing that I put him down a little too low. That's on me. Next, we have Diamond Malik Beasley. Again, another A tier category card because he has great defense and great shooting ability. An awesome 3-and-D guy at the 2. Again, animations wise, really didn't wow me with it, but didn't have any negatives too bad. It's just kind of mid tier with the animations. Great card overall. Again, in the right hands could be amazing. For your Timberwolves guy, boom, he's right there. Maybe even Nuggets guy right there. And again, great shooter, great defender, but really doesn't provide us too much out of that. So we're gonna have to throw him in A tier. Next, we have Gary Trent Jr. is for me at least the definition of really not doing too much for me to impress me. He feels like Ty Jerome, just not as good, and he's I think 6'5", 6'6" is the 2. I mean, the main thing with Gary Trent is he just hasn't impressed me. Again, another one of those 3-and-D guys, but he feels like Malik Beasley, just worse. So I'm gonna throw him in B tier, just knock him down a little bit because of that. Next, we have Diamond Marquise Chris in the same category as Daniel Tice, a 6'9" undersized center that you're going to have to run at the 4. If you're a Warriors fan, you could love him, but he really doesn't provide too much for you. He can kind of play some defense, kind of do everything, if we're being honest, but again, undersized. really doesn't impress me too much. And then last but not least, we have Rui Hachimura, easy S+ tier for me. Not S+ tier, sorry, S tier. I'm mixing all of these things source up. Yeah, Rui Hachimura is literally just Carmelo Anthony in a different body. He can shoot the 3-ball crazy, he can dribble amazing, he can dunk on everybody and play some good defense. I love this Rui Hachimura card. And again, he's my favorite to use just because I love Rui as a player. I've been rooting for my mans for so long, and you know, I really hope that he turns something into the future. So this is the finished Spotlight Sim tier list that we got going on right here. Honestly, I feel like it's not too bad. I feel like it's not too bad. This is definitely good, and I think overall as a drop, it's actually pretty solid. I mean, even these C tier cards can still be amazing. I feel like these three are really the only three that I think are absolute trash. Everything else, pretty nice, if I'm being honest. So good on 2K for that. Let me know what you guys think about tier list down in the comment section below. Make sure you guys drop a like on the video if you guys did enjoy or found it informative. So we got, if you guys are new on that road to 5.5K. Maybe 5.6 at the time this gets posted because it's pre-recorded. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see y'all in the next